A city big enough to hide someone, as proven by the infamous hostage takers of the Civil War era. But almost 80 times smaller than London, surely not big enough for thousands to have vanished without a trace. Downtown Beirut epitomizes how this country has tried to wipe away its recent past. It's as though war has never taken place in this country. It's full of brand new buildings, construction sites, fashionable people, and shops with brand names. It's as though this country has tried to wipe away any vestige that has lived through a period of destruction and upheaval.
Obviously, the so-called reconstruction of Beirut was partly an undertaking to destroy all these criminal traces. Not to talk about the downtown, where for sure there was suspicious spots, let's say, which could have contained dead bodies.
Post-war Beirut, however good-looking, may well be a city built on buried evidence.
We need the archives of all those who worked in the reconstruction of Beirut, if they kept any archives. Otherwise, I mean, we don't have any proof, but we can assume that this part of Lebanon also contained mass graves.
The only way to know for sure is to gather testimony about potential grave sites, quarantine those sites, and for forensic experts to exhume and examine any human remains. A process which almost all other conflict zones of the 20th century underwent. Chechnya, Rwanda, Kosovo, Sierra Leone, all pushed through investigations of war crimes within just 2 years of a ceasefire. But in Lebanon, it took 10 years before the government finally bowed to pressure and set up a national commission in 2000, headed by this man, retired Army General Salim Abu Ismail. In a milestone for the relatives of the missing, it named 4 locations as definite sites of Civil War mass graves. So with that, this place is in East Beirut, yes?
Yes, we're in Ashrafiyah, part of East Beirut. And this church here is the Orthodox Church of Mar Meter. And the official commission said that this was the site of a mass grave. But the problem is the report doesn't specify the exact place. That's why we turned to the courts and filed 2 lawsuits. First, to obtain official documents detailing the exact place, and in order to quarantine the site, because this is a crime scene that no one should touch until we get a specialized commission that will adhere to proper standards. Then they need to start digging so that eventually we'll find out who was buried here.
This is the official report produced by the 2000 Commission into the thousands of Lebanese missing during the Civil War. It's only 2.5 pages long, and in it, it says that none of the specimens from the mass graves were identifiable and that all of the missing should now actually be officially registered as being dead. It falls far short of the comprehensive investigation called for by the relatives and the activists. And what's more, 2 further commissions by the government failed to produce any report at all.
First,